Welcome to the Onstage Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Robert. Hello, welcome to the Onstage Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Robert. It's a great day. It's sunny out. There's a little bit of snow on the ground, and I think the temperature is 4 degrees. Well, we're getting into some pretty heavy spring weather. So we're just waiting for our guests to come on, Filomena Croce. But before we say anything, we have quite a list of people to come on in the next 2 months. A list of really, really great singers, musicians, artists, you name it. They're going to be on here. And today we have 2 podcasts. And one of them is a pop singer at 7 o'clock tonight. Be sure you stay tuned. And then I tell you, when you go to my YouTube page, you'll see all these people up and coming. And but you know, it's good to be busy because you want to be busy. So before we start, I want to tell you that the person that we have special guest is Filomena Croce. And we're going to give you a little bit of montage of her music to give you an idea of what she can do. And here she is.
Sala dormire, il giamui non può capire, non è tieno né parlare.
That's Filomena Croce, and let us bring her on. Hello, Filomena. Hi.
Hello. Hi. How are you?
I'm fine. I decided to make a little montage for you and fix it up so, you know, something for people to enjoy.
It was lovely. Thank you.
You're welcome. I love that Jadoon one. That has quite like a dancing sort of, you know, music to it. Music killer, you know, like Elsa.
Which
Elsa.
one?
The Jadoon, the one?
Okay. Yeah.
I love that one.
Oh, me too. That's why I decided to record it.
Yeah. So how are you?
I'm great. You? You
I am
good?
doing well. I'm so happy that you're here. So for people who don't know who you are, give us a little backstory.
So my name is Filomena Croce, and I am an Italian singer and songwriter, currently living in the Netherlands, in Rotterdam. Well, I am a Master of Music graduate at a conservatorium here in the Netherlands. And well, I've been performing for over 20 years now, so it's quite a long time. I've traveled a bit around the world, and I performed at festivals such as Tomorrowland, pretty famous, and well, with the Metropole Orkest is Grammy Award winning orchestra, and I've sang also at the London Jazz Festival, and well, at many more places.
Well, that sounds excellent. Was watching all your music and listening to all your singing, and it's fantastic. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
So you're an Italian singer. You're also a songwriter. Do you actually write the song in Italian and then translate it to English, or do you write it in English? Are you able to do both fluently?
So, well, actually, like, I think I would like to talk about it's actually my EP that is coming out. So that's a good question that you're asking. So the EP that I wrote, well, it's in English. It's going to be in English. And no, I did not write it in Italian first and then translate it. It just comes natural to me to write in English directly, straight into English. So, well, because I've been living abroad since 2013, so it's 9 years now, of which 6.5 here in the Netherlands. But before moving here, I lived in the UK. So yeah, I've been used to speak English all the time for many years, and well, I knew it also before. So yeah, I wrote it in English.
Are you currently living in Rotterdam?
Yes, I'm currently living in Rotterdam. I've been living here for 3.5 years. I lived in another city before where I studied. Yeah, well, there is actually some news that I have to share about it. I will actually leave the Netherlands quite soon. I'm moving to Mexico in
Oh,
March,
okay.
so that's quite a big change. Well, at least for now. Then I don't know what will happen later. But yeah, I'm here now, and I've been here for quite some time. It's a
Yeah, now
lovely
that
place.
I actually, my father was, there's a little island called Curacao. My father was born on there, and I'm
Okay.
Dutch as well. And I've been to Amsterdam, I've been to The Hague, I've been to Rotterdam. It's a really beautiful, beautiful country. And also, you get, if you can see one of those old windmills that Holland is famous for, there's very few of them around. I think
Yeah,
there's a few
yeah.
in Rotterdam.
Well, yeah, in Rotterdam, let's say Rotterdam is a little bit less Dutch compared to other cities because it was mainly destroyed during World War II. But you can still see a windmill in the city. And well, there are also around, like in Kinderdijk or something. Around there are also, and you can go and see them.
Yeah, I haven't been to Holland in a while, but I'm hopefully we'll go in about a year from now to commemorate someone's uh, anniversary. But yeah, so that's great to see you. And now you're moving to Mexico. You're going to be, I think, 3 hours from me and not 6 hours ahead.
So for next chat, it would be a little bit better.
Yeah.
No, well, 6 hours, it's also fine. It's
So,
not a problem.
so tell us about that duo that you're in. It's called the Filomena Croce duo. Tell me about that. Is that a group, or is just that you and your partner decided just to call yourselves the Filomena Croce duo?
So, well, and actually, I play with different guitarists. It depends, but usually then my the it's always called Filomena duo or trio anyway.
Yeah.
I just like to put my name on
Yeah.
it. Well, yeah, it depends. So the Filomena duo have different guitarists in them.
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate your voice, and it was nice listening to it. So you're really good. Tell us
Thank you.
about when you put a song together. How do you decide? You write songs, so how do you decide
Yes.
how to start the song? Like, how long does it take you to write a song and put it together?
That's not easy to say because every song is different. I've had songs that I wrote in 2 days, like everything, the chords, the melody, the lyrics, everything. And then other songs that I wrote in 1 year or two. So it really depends. Sometimes I start with the lyrics, and sometimes I've started just sitting and playing chords. So it just depends. I cannot give just one answer to that, but all of these songs are present in my like the ones that I've told you about, both that have been written in 2 days and that have been written in 2 years. They are all present in my EP that is coming out soon. I'm really happy about it, and I'm going to have premiere concerts on the 22nd of March here in Rotterdam. So yeah,
Nice.
big news. And yeah, I'm gonna present the songs before they are out on digital platforms. So I'm super excited about it. Yeah, I'm gonna play it with one of my guitarists. Even though in the EP, well, there are different lines up. Like I have duo songs with guitar, a duo song with piano, and also the complete band, like with bass and drums and everything. I hope people will enjoy it. The title of the EP is Love Will Come Back. And well, it talks about strength and being able to persevere and keep going.
But there you go.
Oh,
that
you
happens.
disappeared. Believing in yourself and respecting yourself and spreading love. Because one thing that I'm really convinced about is that when you spread love and kindness in any type of relationship, that love will come back to you multiplied. So that's the meaning of Love Will Come Back. So it's not a romantic meaning, really, but yeah, it's more of powerful message that I wanted to give.
Does your music, are you relating your music to what types of people that you're relating your music to? What do you want them, what kind of emotion do you want them to feel with it?
So, well, I will start saying that it would be great if everyone would take whatever they feel they can take from the song and make it personal. So they don't really have to, stick to my story necessarily. So that would be great, that everyone would take something very personal from it. But of course, giving these powerful messages, I hope to, give some hope and confidence to people to, endure some difficult moments, because they need to know that, light will come after darkness.
That's true. What type of like when you were growing up, did you always want to be a musician, or did you have something else in mind?
Um, No, well, I started singing when I was 10 years old. So yeah, I think I've been wanting to do this for I know since then. So it's yeah, since I was a child. Um, Alternatives, well, just I was playing like uh, being a teacher so that I also became later. So in the end, I think I became what I wanted when I was a child in the end.
Yeah. We all have our what we want to do when we're growing up, and I think it was you. You were tell us about the known theaters you were in, such as you were in Ariston Theater in Italy, you're in Beco das Garrafas in Rio de Janeiro, you were at the Royal Festival Hall in the King's Palace, London, King's Place in London. Which one do you prefer? Which one do you like better?
Uh, well, I'm not sure I have a favorite. Well, Ariston Theater is a very famous theater in the north of Italy because there is well, it takes place one of the actually probably the most important festival that there is in Italy, the Festival di Sanremo, Festival of Sanremo. So I was very, very excited to be there for another show. It was for a competition or something. And I was very, very young. I was not even 16. So that was one of my first very important thing that I did. So that's something very, very exciting. Or Rio de Janeiro, that was also a great place because that's where all of the best Brazilian musicians have played. So for me to be there was also like a very big emotion. In London, I sang at the London Jazz Festival in at the Royal Festival Hall in King's Place. So that was also very exciting for me because that's like a very famous jazz festival. But probably even more, what I loved was singing at Tomorrowland in 2019, where millions of people actually watched the show. So that was amazing. When I watched the show back, I was like, whoa, because I did not have the same impression while I was on stage. It seemed so it was so great to watch it back. And also the Ziggo Dome Arena in Amsterdam, also in 2019. With the Metropole Orkest, there were 17,000 people present there. So it was, yeah, out of this world completely. Probably those are my favorites because of that.
Yeah, it says actually here that you have millions of people were watching your performance for your Tomorrowland in Belgium.
Yes.
Did you know that these millions of people were watching, or did you just like? If I was performing and I had millions of people watching, I'd be nervous. So how did you handle that?
Well, I had no idea of how many people were going to watch it.
Millions of people
I
online and
knew
live too.
that. Well, I knew that Tomorrowland was a super famous festival, but I did not really think about numbers. And well, I don't know exactly how many people were like present in the hall, over 10,000 anyway. So for me, that was already like, wow. But once you start singing, it's like it's something that it's always happens, well, maybe not always, but many times, before I start singing, I'm very nervous. But then after a song or two, then I'm completely feeling at home. So I don't really even think about how many people there are in front of me. So even if there were 10,000 people, or at the Ziggo Dome there were 17,000 people, I really was not thinking about it anymore. I was just having so much fun. At the Ziggo Dome Arena, there was fire, there were fireworks inside. So yeah, and also in a place that's big like that, it's like an arena, you don't actually really see people, because everything was dark in front of me. So you don't really think about it too much at some point. It's like you forget about it while you're performing.
So what is it about Rotterdam that you like so much? Do you
About
have good view?
Rotterdam.
Do you have a good view of where you're living?
Yeah, well, right now I'm living a little bit outside of the city center, but in the houses I've lived before, in one of them, it was like straight in front of, opposite the Erasmus Bridge, which is like the most famous bridge that there is in the city center. And the view is amazing. And still nowadays, that's my favorite place here in Rotterdam. I go there when I have the opportunity. And I just stay there and sit on a bench and contemplate the water, because that's something I like to do. Apparently I have like many places that I've been while living abroad or traveling, that I just sit in front of the water, and it just gives me a calm feeling.
Well, that's good. Tell us about you have other musicians in your family. Are you the only one that has the beautiful voice?
I am the only musician in my family.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah, well,
Well,
I'm not 100% sure that that's good. I don't know, because I haven't tried to have, other musicians in the family. I don't know how it is, but being the only one that has taken this path, it hasn't been very easy for me. I'm from a city in the south of Italy. Well, it's not very small, actually. It's quite big, like compared to the other cities surrounding my own. but I think, well, the mentality probably is different, or maybe also in the rest of Italy. I'm not sure, but they don't really consider music as a job, and yeah, that's the reason why it hasn't been easy at all. I think if I had other musicians in my family, it would have been easier. I mean, I would have been more understood by them. Now it's much better, but yeah, I had to go through some challenges for sure.
yeah, but people prefer just to listen to your voice, and they also want to, they love your warm personality as well.
Thank you.
Tell us about your the other instruments that you play.
So yeah, I play piano. But well, when I perform, I prefer only singing, really. Um, yeah, because I think that everyone should do what they really feel like it's in their soul, right? So I prefer to communicate only with singing to people. like playing piano for me is, for myself and for students, but not really to perform in front of people.
Yeah. So when you play the piano and sing, which one do you prefer? Just the singing, or do you sometimes perform just on piano and not sing? Or do you perform usually just like to sing, but you don't want anywhere near the piano? What do you think putting those two instruments together, well, voice, of course, and the piano, does that make you feel that you're better and you feel more stronger and more able to conquer the world than you are if you were just to sit at a piano and not sing? Because usually when people sing, it's sort of like an expression of their personality, an expression of how they're feeling. Like many musicians, when they write a song, usually the song, if you look at the lyrics, um, is, for instance, one of my favorite Canadian musicians. He's passed now, but is a group called Doug and the Slugs, and they wrote a song called Day After Day. And that's my go-to song when I realize, day after day, I'm feeling stronger day after day, and it just gets me up there. So do you feel that your songs help people to go on throughout their day? Or do you
That
just write the
if my
song for yourself?
Okay. Um, well, when I wrote them, I wrote them for myself, because they helped me go through stuff. um, like, yeah, for example, there is one that talks about grief for the loss of a loved one. Or another one while I was going through, a bad phase in a relationship. So the songs helped me going through that. But for sure, when I sing them, I really hope that also people can take something from them, and it can really help them. And it's something actually that is not only with my own songs, it's also something that I feel also when I sing, I don't know, jazz standards or Brazilian standards. I really hope that I can make a person's day better with a smile, or because I really think that's something even very, very small can change your day, and it can actually save your life. I think some people might have had that something even very, very small has changed and saved their lives even. And I really hope that I can change the day of someone with singing.
Well, sometimes, Philomena, that when people smile, they're not smiling on the inside. So your songs allow them not only to smile, but smile in the inside as well. When you see someone who's smiling, you think, okay, they're smiling, but deep down inside, they're hiding pain. So it's so like we all should have a playlist of songs and musicians that we like. And like for me, when I clean my apartment or when I take a walk, I have a separate playlist, which includes,
Mhm.
like when you work out, you have a list of songs that make you work out stronger and better. And then you have a separate playlist that allows you to go on a walk, and it's really nice, beautiful sounding instruments and like jazz or something. How about you? Do you have your own playlist?
Uh, no, not really. No. Well, I usually listen to the songs that I sing. I don't know, maybe if that's bad of me to say. But yeah, I listen to the songs that I'm going to perform, or songs that my students brought to lesson. So I don't really have a set list. I might feel the need sometimes to, listen to something specific, and then I go and listen to it. But it's not that I really have a set list or a playlist that I usually listen to.
Yeah. But your music, just the way you listen to music, it makes you want to you feel better. Like, I believe that musicians, they write music about just their emotions and their states. And as you said, writing a song about a loss of a loved one. And like Christina Aguilera wrote a song called Hurt. I don't know if you're familiar with her. She sang a song about
Yeah.
Hurt. The video is about her father. And this song she actually wrote about loss of her father. So that's what people do, playing playing a song that reminds them of somebody.
Yeah, actually, like with Christina Aguilera, that's it's actually like curious that you mentioned her, because actually she has been a great inspiration to me. Uh, I was listening to her when I was a teenager a lot. I think she was like one of the main artists I was listening to when I was like, I don't know, 15, 16, around that age. Um, I absolutely loved her, and I think I still do, of course. But I think those years were very important, and like my lyrics, especially, have taken a lot from her, in the sense that she usually writes about very sings about very powerful things. So she gives powerful messages, like, I don't know, in Beautiful or The Voice Within. Um, and in my songs, I do the same as well. Like I said, I give powerful messages as well, and that's something I took from her, I think.
Yeah, your English is excellent.
Oh,
Where
thank
did
you.
you where did you learn English?
Well, I started studying in Italy already, like since I was a child. But to be honest, I didn't feel very confident until I actually moved to the UK, where I studied at an English school there, and then, just day-to-day life, I guess. But that had actually a purpose. I moved to the UK because I wanted to do my master's here in the Netherlands. And um, to be able to do that, I had to, be fluent in English. And so that's why I planned everything in my head. I was like, okay, where can I go to, practice and practice English? The UK, okay, I will go there. So I went there and then I learned, and then I came here. So that's the
Do,
story, like, very briefly.
yeah, do you feel that you have to s- speak your language and English at the same time? Because some people have, like, for instance, when you talk about the UK, those have this really thick, strong, like English accent, Cockney accent, or from Ireland, people with this really strong Irish accent. If you're living in UK or Ireland, you will pick up that Irish lilt. You will pick up that English. Like, a friend of mine lived in England for 3 years. When he came out, he goes, "Hello, how's it going, Chris?" And I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, you've only been gone 3 years." And others, like, they end up knowing a language. They come to Canada, they learn English, they speak English, and they don't bother going back to. their own language and they can no longer speak their mother tongue, which I think it's best for you. It's sort of like you to learn both languages, like to know Italian and to know English. Do you know any other languages?
Well, I studied Spanish at school, which will be hopefully useful in Mexico when I go there. Well, it was many years ago, so I'm not as fluent as I once was, but I hope to remember enough to be able to, well, I'm sure that it will be fine because the information that you learn will anyway stay in your head somewhere. So when you start practice again, it will come back at some point, hopefully very soon. So yeah, that's one. My Dutch is not as good,
I can ask you
even though
about that. Why aren't you learning Dutch?
Sorry?
You're learning Dutch.
I've never really actively learned it. Like I've never, or maybe for a short while, but I've never been really into learning Dutch. It was more like day-to-day life that I had to learn things. But the thing is, like with English and with Spanish, I really studied it, right? With Dutch, it's just what I picked up. Basically, I never studied the grammar or anything really.
Well, I was using Rosetta Stone for a while and Duolingo to learn certain languages, and I started learning Hebrew and Greek from the Rosetta Stone software, and I'm still into it, but I'm just learning slowly. At the moment, of course, I'm English, but I can't really keep up with much conversation. But I mean, not with English. I mean, much conversation in like Dutch or French or German. But it's good to pick up another language.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, I actually want to talk to you about the 2017 you were chosen to represent ArtEZ at the Conservatorium Leading Dutch Jazz Network event. Can you tell us about the Theater Walhalla and all the other stuff that you were in? We mentioned before. Tell me about what's this ArtEZ Conservatorium at the Leading Dutch Jazz Network event?
ArtEZ. So ArtEZ Conservatorium is the university I went to here in the Netherlands to do my master's. And well, I think it has been the place that has changed my life the most, because it has allowed me to come here. Well, I could have come here anyway, but because being European, I could just move. But I wanted it to be meaningful, and only to move when I got into the conservatory. So that's the school that I have attended, and really a beautiful place. Well, pretty small, so everyone knew everyone. But it was really, really nice. And in my second year of when I was actually quite close to graduation, they like there is this festival which is InJazz Festival that takes place in Rotterdam, and they picked up like one master student from each conservatory in the Netherlands, and I was the one that was chosen to represent mine. So it was really a honor, and I sang there with some professors of one of the conservatory here in Rotterdam. It was, just a magical evening. And people came there to see us, to listen to us. It was really great, and also something really great for my CV. I guess. So I have very good memories of that evening.
Yeah. I see that there's some really high class names here, but one of them is EDM legend Armin van Buuren. Like that's quite a name. Like you were associated with that one. Tell me more.
Yeah. Well, I'm associated to Armin van Buuren because of the show that I sang on at Tomorrowland, the 15 years anniversary of Tomorrowland that we played at the Ziggo Dome Arena in Amsterdam. So Tomorrowland is an EDM festival full of DJs. And EDM people from all over the world. And for this anniversary, the people, like the very famous ones, like him or like Tiesto, that's really played the anthems of Tomorrowland during these 15 years, were called to perform. And us, as the Metropole Orkest, were there to support them. So it was super great. We shared the same stage, and we were supporting them. And that's the concert that I told you about, where there were 17,000 people. So we had 2 evenings. So 17,000 people one evening and 17,000 people the other evening. So it was really, really great. And one of them got streamed as well. I also have like great memories. I was sitting in front of Tiesto having dinner actually, so that was great as well. Such a great experience. I just remember feeling a lot of pain in my feet because I was wearing heels, but I was dancing for 2.5 hours on stage. Basically, it was super.
But you're frozen there. Uh-oh.
Chris, are you still there?
Right here.
Okay. I was like, oh, he's not here anymore.
Yeah, you're frozen there. You're talking to someone.
Well, but you heard me, right? That's the important.
Yeah, and then when you froze, you just suddenly stopped talking. But
yeah, no.
There's some good names here. Push. I know I've heard of Tiesto. But that's a good story mentioning. Also, I hear that you're. So what's this teacher at Stedelijk Conservatorium in Brugge, Belgium? Is that the school you mentioned that you were closing down?
No.
Okay.
No. So, well, one of my my big dreams have always been to be a teacher at a conservatorium. So being a university teacher, basically.
That's good.
So when I had this opportunity to do that, I only did it for a short time. But because I was replacing someone, I just, decided to, yes, I will do it for sure. It was really a dream come true for me. It was in Belgium, in Bruges or Brugge, as Flemish would say. So I went all the way there, which was not that far from Rotterdam anyway. Um, and it was, yeah, really amazing. It was just a dream come true for me to be a conservatory teacher for a while.
Well, that's good, and you want to continue that, right?
Yeah, well, if I have the opportunity, yes.
So, what was it like teaching students online from Kathmandu, Nepal? What were they like?
Okay, yeah, so
Did you
that
teach them
was
the theory of music as well? How to read music, etc.?
no, so well, that's also another dream come true for me. But I gave a workshop for them, so it was just for one day. But it was really, really amazing that I could teach conservatory students all the way from Nepal. So it
Nice.
was super great. And the topic of the workshop was choral improvisation, which, well, it's a bit challenging to do online for sure,
Hmm.
but it was completely doable anyway. But it's yeah, it was amazing as well to
Yeah,
do. I hope I had the opportunity to go there and do it in person, because that's, you know, much
What
better
did
as well.
what did you like about Nepal online? Yeah, Kathmandu. I've never been to Nepal, but um, did the students learn a lot? Did they come take? What did they take away? Did they take away the ability to write music, the ability to create a song, the ability to write lyrics? What is it that they specifically told you that they learned that made you not only happy on the outside but happy on the inside as well?
So yeah, the workshop was about choral improvisation.
Hmm.
So I wanted to introduce them into a new world. Let's say, because they had never, um, you know, how can I say it? They've never studied that really before, that specific topic. So yeah, they have just learned something completely new for them. And I, like, my goal and my hope for that day was that they would get interested in the topic, in the subject, and they would feel like they wanted to go deeper into it. And yeah, they did. So I hope they are actually going through with it, and that they are keeping, to look for more things about it.
It sounded like you had quite an experience doing that. Did you do research on Nepal? Did you do research on um, what kind of instruments do they have? Do they share the same vocal styles? Do they share the same instrument? Because I don't know anything about it. Um, was there something you learned about the students that you didn't know before? What did you take back from it? Like, what did you bring back with it? Like,
Um, well, what I liked, is it was just to see people that were interested in what they were doing. Regarding making research, well, I know that their music is like similar in a way to Indian music. As well, I also sang some Indian music in a few years ago, well, quite some years ago. Um, so I know a little bit about that. But well, I didn't research too much, I guess. Before I go to a new place, or like in this case, I didn't go in person, but I was there virtually. Um, I like to watch videos, and when I did that I did of the cities, and yeah, also to learn something. But yeah, I did not have too much time to do that, but I knew some things already before.
Yeah, I noticed that song that you sang with. I'm trying to find his name here. The East Indian guy you were playing with. I can't find the video here now. Oh yeah, his name is Vinay Srisankar. Tell me about
Vinay.
him. What kind of musician is he?
Well, he before being a great musician, I think is a very good person, and that's something I really care about in people. Like, all the musicians I play with are not only good musicians or great musicians, but also people that I really respect, and they are really good fits, matches for me as people. So that's something I found in him as well. So I sang with him when I was in the Indian choir, in an Indian choir. Well, I didn't tell you that I was in an Indian choir, but I told you I sang some Indian music some years ago. So I was in an Indian choir in The Hague, and he was there as well. So that's where we met. And actually, he proposed me to record that song. And you can imagine, I'm Italian. I did not know it before, and he did. So yeah, he asked me if I wanted to record that with him. And well, it didn't happen immediately. I think some time passed, like when in the end we did it. But then we did it, and it was really great. It's one of my favorite songs.
But what? So you Indian music? Why Indian music? Because it has a lot of the beat to it, and is that your preference of genre?
Well, let's say I don't really have a preference of genre. Like, it also reflects on the music I sing. So not only what I listen to. I like to be a very versatile artist. So I just like to explore. I'm very curious, and I explore whatever it comes. Um, so I like I sang in Hindi. I've sung in Arabic even, and then I play a lot of Brazilian music. I don't know, just a lot of things. And years ago, I just fell in love with some Indian music that I listened to. So that's why I guess I decided to continue that.
You sang in
But I
Arabic?
like, yeah, one song, it was in Arabic as well. Um,
Wow.
really
And you sang in
beautiful.
Hindi. That's interesting. That like you don't
Yeah,
know
with
these
the
languages.
Indian choir.
Did you have to
Sorry?
did you have to get someone who knew Arabic and someone who knew Hindi? Did you have to talk to them, see how every lyric and every word is pronounced properly? Did you have to sit with them? Because I know a group that they did Hallelujah by Leonard Cohen in 14
Mm-hmm.
different languages. And they
Oh,
had to
wow, that's
go,
great.
they had to sit with all these different, feel like they sang part of it in Hindi and Hebrew. And they had to sit with someone and say, how do you pronounce this lyric, which will be in Hebrew of this song? How do you pronounce it? And I have never been so like, it's amazing. And is that what you had to do, or did you know the Arabic language, or did you have to sit with someone who was Arabic and they had to show you, listen, this is how you say that word properly?
No, I did not do that in Arabic. I've done that in Portuguese a lot.
Wow.
I had to study pronunciation and everything because that's actually, like, besides English, it's the language I sing the most. So I really went into it, and I studied the rules of the of the pronunciation and everything. I had teachers as well that helped me with it. So yeah, I did it. Not
That's
always,
amazing.
not with all languages, but I did it.
That's amazing, because even with Arabic, it's that's a different language, because I work with people who are Arabic, and it's all a different dialect. So if you learn Arabic, you won't be able to understand someone who's from Lebanon, for instance, but you'll probably understand a person in Egypt. So it's a totally different dialect. It's like in English, they have certain words that, like, for instance, we say car trunk. In England, they use boot. So if you go up there and say, what's in your trunk? They say, my trunk? There's an elephant here or something? Huh? And so you have to learn their lingo. So it's totally different, but it's amazing that you can just learn these languages and sing them. That's powerful. You got one advantage than I do.
But I don't speak them.
No, but
Still, even though, for example, like Portuguese is like the language I sing in the most. I don't speak it to people, but still that helps a lot, because then actually I know a lot of words and a lot of things because I sing it, so I know what I'm singing about, right? So yeah, that helps.
now you're talking about Portuguese. It's Nelly Furtado, and there's maybe one song which I know partly in Portuguese, but the whole chorus part of it is really fast. Like if this part of the language is really fast, I just kind of avoid. I'm like, oh no. Like, for instance, my Mount Everest, you probably have a Mount Everest song, but my Mount Everest song is Nessun Dorma. I can't do Nessun Dorma. I can go Nessun Dorma, but if I can sing that beautifully and get every jot and tittle and every lyric perfect, that's my Mount Everest. I've climbed Mount Everest, if you know. Like, is there a song that you're trying to learn that you can't do that you wish that you could do? Or are you able to take these song challenges and do them the Filomena way, you know?
Well, there was a song that kind of reflects what you're saying for me. Many years ago, when I was still studying for my bachelor in Italy. So my teacher then introduced me actually to Brazilian music.
Wow.
And she presented to me this song, super difficult. It was Imagina, that Tom Jobim wrote when he was like super young, in his 20s. It was one of the first ones that he wrote, but it was pretty complicated. And Chico Buarque, he wrote lyrics many years later, like 36 years later, because it was so difficult that no one could really write anything that could exactly fit. So when I started to study this song, it was very challenging for me. And then I remember, well, I had to sing it for school, but then, well, I was not completely satisfied with it. And then I did not sing it anymore for many, many years. I did not even think about it. Just, I don't know, I forgot about it. I was doing other things, of course, in many years. Then one day I was like, okay, I think I should do that. And I took it back and I tried to sing it, and it was, yeah, amazing. I was super, super happy. And in the end, I recorded it, and it's also on YouTube now since like a year or something. So that's a challenging song that I did like many years ago, and then I left it aside, and then I took it back years later, and I was really happy about the results. So yeah,
That's
I climbed the Mount Everest in the
yes.
end.
That's excellent. You can't turn down a challenge, but I remember back in the 80s, there was this 80s singer by the name of Peter Schilling, and he did a song called Major Tom, and
Mm.
he did a German version of that song. And since 82, 83, I've started learning that German part, that German song, and he still sings it even today in German. Now I'm on an app called Smule, which allows you to sing with people all around the world, and they actually have the German version of Major Tom. And there's
Oh
this
yeah.
German lady. I mean, there's everyone who sings around people around the world. Also, she knew the language because she was German, and she sang that German version of Peter Schilling's song Major Tom. Like obviously, but I'm listening to it. I'm thinking you're supposed to be German, but you got it wrong. I'll show you how I. And then I started singing the whole song in German, perfect German. I have people telling me that your German's better than mine, this and that. And she didn't want anything to do with me because she was so embarrassed. So listen, I'm German, but I can't even sing a German song. But you don't speak German, but you can sing the German song beautifully. It took me years to learn. It's not something like I know a couple of French songs, but it took me a long time to learn them. But for me to stand up and sing a French song, I can do it. But you have inspired me to learn other languages. I do have a friend who was Hindi, and he did teach me a lot of Hindi. I use here and there, but to sing in Hindi, imagine just to sing that. I've never heard anybody sing it in like German or Polish or Ukrainian, but I do know this person on YouTube. I don't know if you're familiar with that song, The Wellerman. The Wellerman went to see the name of the ship was a Bulioti. She sings it in Ukrainian. The Ukrainian is much more better and sounds a lot better than the English version. There are some
Okay.
languages that you can sing a normal, regular American song in a different language and it sounds better. And the Ukrainian version, if I had a chance to learn it in Ukrainian, I would. It sounds a lot better than the English version. But when she was singing, I'm like, oh, it's amazing. So sorry about that little side
Oh,
note.
don't worry. That's fine.
You're the guest, not me.
But I also, like
Yeah,
to know things about you. So don't worry.
yeah, yeah. Well, I'm half Hungarian and half Dutch, and I got a little bit of Romanian in me as well. But I like to learn Dutch. I want to learn French. I want to learn German, Hebrew. But, at my age, I'll probably learn 4 languages fluently by the time of 100 because, it takes a long time. But yeah, you've inspired me to even learn more Italian, actually. But when it comes to a full language, it's English. And even I have sometimes difficulty speaking English because I'm like saying or don't know, or you got to be yes, I understand. You got to speak the way that you'll be easy with that. But yes, and yes. So you want to interview me then? So
No, no.
no, okay. So I see that your first EP as a soloist was the name of vocal group Voice Vocal Projects. Tell us about that. Like, is that going to be a new group, or is that just the one of thing?
So, well, about the EP as a soloist, I told you about. regarding the LP with my vocal group, well, I've been part of voice vocal projects for a few years, since 2019. But the group is over 10 years old. So the committee decided to have to make an LP of all the best songs that they have sang over the years. So they made this compilation of songs, and yeah, so those are the best in the repertoire of voice vocal projects, of different genres, from Armin van Buuren, even special arrangement, super beautiful, to well, I cannot really say too much about the songs, but so it's different genres, because, well, voice vocal projects is a vocal group that every year brought a different project to theaters. So that's why in the LP there are songs of different genres, because every year they would do something completely different from the year before. So it's the best of all these years. It was really fun for me to record, even though I did it at a distance. I was not physically there, and also, well, there was Corona, so that was also not helping. And with the various lockdowns and stuff, but it was still fun to record. And well, it is coming out over the next few months, with also a physical copy. It's an LP. Like, I'm so much looking forward to see that, and to have my own copy as well. And yeah, and the people that pre-ordered it already actually have listened to the songs as a special gift for the support. But yeah, the rest of the world has to wait a little bit longer. So I don't know the exact dates. But, well, for my EP as a soloist, I already announced that for sure it will premiere on the 22nd of March at a concert here in Rotterdam, which I'm super looking forward to. One thing about voice vocal project is I will no longer be a part of it once I move to Mexico, but yeah, I'm still part of the LP, because my voice is in it. So I'm really happy. They are a great group, and yeah, I wish them the best.
Why are you moving to Mexico when there's all this nice, beautiful planet, God's great earth, all these wonderful countries? Why Mexico?
Well, I have to admit, not really poetically, that Mexico is quite easy to enter right now, like with COVID and stuff. Like, not all places are very easy to get into. But, well, during COVID, I started to feel like it was time for me to move on a little, at least for a while. I don't know then what will happen in the future, of course. But I just started to feel I had to get some new, fresh air. So I decided to take this path, at least for now, teaching. Yeah, but I'm happy because, like, here in the Netherlands, the weather might be, actually can be quite bad at times. And we have had 3 storms in a week now, and it's super cold. But where I'm going to, I've seen, the weather forecasts and stuff. There, like a few weeks ago, there was like a maximum of 26 degrees, and I was like, okay, that I'm happy about, because I'm going really like on the coast. I'm going to the Pacific coast, so I'm going to the beach sometimes. Not always, because work, but I'm happy to go there. I
Well,
also know that I will miss the Netherlands, and especially Rotterdam, because it has, entered my heart. It's in my heart. But at least for now, I don't know. I need to experience something different for now, at least.
well, Norway is minus 20 degrees right now, and
Um,
and also we here in Canada we have a little city called Edmonton, and you can get anywhere from minus 30 to minus 40 degrees, and that's without the wind chill. Here we get minus, I think the highest one was minus 21 with a 30, minus 30, minus 40 degree wind chill, but we're talking about a temperature is actually minus 40 with like a minus 50 wind chill. And you don't want to be in cold places like that. But in July,
no.
July is July is our warmest month. We've had maybe in the middle of July we've had anywhere from 90 to 95 degrees, and right now it's like 5 degrees right now above zero. But doesn't necessarily mean we're not going to get back to minus 20. But people just want to get this winter over with, and go back to a nice spring where you can just walk out without wearing a big, thick, heavy jacket or earmuffs, and just go out just without a jacket. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, no, I don't think I can function in minus 20 degrees. Yeah, no, that's not for me. I think the ideal place is where it's always spring. So I think Mexico works out for now.
Yeah, I worked with someone from Poland, and he's been in Canada for years, and he was telling us a story about how, like, his father lives in Krakow, and
Mhm.
it's like minus 20 down there, and his father says, "Oh, it's cold here." I said, "Yeah, it's cold here in Poland. It's like minus 20. I'm glad you're not here." And he goes, "Dad, it's
Oh,
minus
you
2."
froze.
And he goes, "Oh, I'm here now. You still see me?"
Yes. Yes, now yes.
Yeah. Minus 2 and minus 20, they have the same sort of temperature, but it's all in perspective. Um, so let's also get back to music, not weather. uh, so who's your favorite musician? Like, who do you want to be duetting with? Like Andrea Bocelli, maybe, or
No, no, no. Well, nothing against Andrea Bocelli. Actually, it would be really nice to have a duet with him. But
Mark Anthony,
he
maybe?
he he was it would not be like my first pick or first thought. um, yeah, someone I would have loved to perform with is dead, unfortunately, João Gilberto. Um, but Chico Buarque is still alive for now, so it would have been, or it will be actually, because you never know, really great to have the opportunity to sing together with him.
How do you
I
pronounce
mean,
his name again?
Chico Buarque.
Chicabois? Never heard of them.
Well, I sing many of his songs he wrote lyrics for. So it would be really really great. He's one of the biggest names in Brazil.
It's
So it would be really nice.
another big name, another one of my favorite Italian singers, not necessarily Bocelli or Mark Anthony, but you ever heard of Alessandro Safina? He sang a song
Yes,
called Luna. Take a look at that song.
Luna.
Go to YouTube, type in Alessandro Safina Luna. Check out that
Now?
video. This guy's no, not now, not now. But this guy is a fantastic singer, and it's like I want to learn more Italian songs. It's just the way you read it. Like for instance, even Italian words. And you should know this. Italian words that just reading how the Italian word sounds is the way that it's pronounced. So like glacius or glacius or sorry. But I want to actually talk to you about who do you prefer to duet with? I hear that you were duet with someone by the name of Rocco Romano. Tell me about that. How does he compare?
Compare?
Yeah, Rocco Romano. You were singing with him at one point.
Yeah, he's one of my guitarists. Well, like I told you, I play with different guitarists. And well, the guitar it hasn't been really conscious choice, I guess. It's just because usually with Brazilian music, but that's what's most used. And then I went on with it. Well, Rocco is a very great person, and he's a great musician as well. He's involved in a lot of projects, and he lives actually in between the Netherlands and Germany. I mean, he goes very often there because he has projects there as well. And it has been really, really fun to play with him. We come from the same region in Italy as well, so we have a lot in common. Yeah, I played a lot of concerts with him. That has been really nice. He got a scholarship for like a 5 weeks program at Berkeley in Boston. So that was he's a great musician.
How do you deal with technical breakdowns, like when you're standing on the stage and you're singing and the microphone doesn't work, or you fall off the stage, like you see, or your drummer or your pianist or anybody member of your orchestra doesn't turn up? And not only not turn up, they don't tell you they're not coming.
Oh, well, fortunately that has never happened. Usually people come to the concerts. I never really had days in which people didn't show up. I never fell on stage. I don't want to talk too soon because there's still plenty of time to fall on stage. I never fell. With the microphone, probably it has happened, but yeah, not for very long. So I just kept singing. Yes, that's something from me. I was taught that the show must go on when I started studying. So usually, whatever happens, I just keep going what I'm doing, basically. So yeah, I just keep singing. Something that might happen is that I forget some lyrics. That's possible. That's
Been there, done
probably
that.
for singers. That's kind of common, I guess. But then you improvise, in those occasions, and you just keep going. I was taught not to stop in those eventualities. So I
That's a
just
good
keep
backup
going.
plan. Yeah, that's good. That's good. The show must go on, right? That's good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, it has never happened that I asked to to s- to stop and start all over a song. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it
I
has
wrote,
happened, I think, probably. Um, it has happened that the guitarist or whoever it was had started the song in the wrong key. That has
oh,
happened. Tricky thing. But then we adjust. We adjust, both of us. So we didn't stop either in that occasion.
yeah, the show must go on. You just keep going, right?
Yeah.
Except if you
And in
fall
the
off
end,
the
it was
stage.
fine.
If you fall off the stage, you're just lying on your back and you're still singing. You go, yeah, I'm okay. You know.
Yeah, I mean, unless you fracture yourself, I
Oh
guess
no,
then
well,
you can keep. Oh, well, actually, now that I'm thinking of it, um, I had kind of an accident. Well, it did not really happen while I was singing, but before. But I really hurt myself, and my toe, my little toe. So what happened like 1 week before is that I cut my toe while I was walking because there was a sharp object and I cut myself. Um, so it was pretty, like the wound was pretty deep, and yeah, it was a bad wound. But after a week, it kind of started to close a little. But then I had a show, and well, the wound opened up again, and I was in a very intense pain, like really bad pain that I actually like lied on the ground. It was
oh,
that bad. But then the people that that I had to perform, that I mean, from the backstage, they told me, well, you have to go up on stage, you know that. And I was like, okay. So for like 3-4 minutes I had to pretend and nothing happened and that I was fine, and I sang Caruso, which is a very difficult song, but well, I had the opportunity. It helped me because you with that song you can really cry your heart out, and I was in so much pain physically that was really handy. And there was I had to wear heels as well, so I wore heels very high because by then I always wore very high heels. Now I don't really do that anymore, like that high. um, but then when the song ended, well, I lied on the floor again, like on the ground, actually, not on the floor. And well, my shoes were covered in blood. It was really bad. But for those 3-4 minutes, I just had to pretend that nothing happened and that I was fine. No one noticed anything while I was on stage. But then, well, the people from the backstage realized it later.
yeah. That's too bad it happened. And there's many occasions where band members, some have have been set on fire accidentally. Some of the lead singers didn't show up for the gig. Um, so yeah, there's anything that go wrong, but you can expect things to go wrong, but you hope that they don't, because when you have to have a show and you're there for like 3, 4, 5 hours, and you have a set of like 10, 12 songs, and you practice them throughout the whole week, then you're ready to go on. Just because nothing happened throughout that week, you were practicing everything was going as gold, doesn't mean that when you're actually playing on stage, something could go wrong. What goes wrong what can go wrong will go wrong. I think it's Newton's law, but yeah.
Yeah, well, anything could go could go wrong. We hope it doesn't, but anything can happen really, from a technical thing to
Yeah, like when you suddenly disappeared from the feed there, and then you
Sorry?
came back. When you suddenly disappeared from our podcast there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, anything can go wrong, but you got to expect that. But yeah, that's great. So I'm looking forward to Love Will Come Back. It's supposed to be released in, I think you said in March, I think you said.
So it's going to premiere the 22nd of March. Yeah, which means that's it's going to be like for the people that will be there, like movies premiere, right? And then they go on theaters afterwards. So that's what's gonna happen. So I'm gonna premiere the EP on the 22nd of March at this concert, and then the EP will come out just after it.
Before we end this little interview, do you have a trademark? What's your trademark? Like when people look at this trademark, they think of Filomena Croce. Like, is it a hat? Maybe people know you by your hat. People know you by your voice. People might know you by maybe you have a pink piano or something.
I do have a pink piano.
Oh, you do? Well, there you go. That's your trademark, right?
I actually do, and I also have a white one.
Nice.
In Italy. Yeah, but I don't know how many people know that.
Well, now I know. No, many people are going to watch this podcast later. They're going to know that Filomena Croce has a pink piano
and a white one. Yeah,
and
because I like to be different. I don't know, somehow. So I didn't want a black one. I don't know. I just wanted something different, and I decided to get a pink and a white piano.
Yeah, you sit at the piano playing your pink piano, wearing your white dress, color your hair pink, wear a pink hat, and then people, hey, Filomena Croce, yeah, she's the one that sang it. She was wearing pink. She was wearing a pink hat. Oh, and she had a pink piano. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's really nice.
I'm so happy that you were able to come on and have an interview with me. I'm so happy that you accepted my invite, and I can't wait to have you on again at some point. And I wish you success with Love Will Come Back. I'm looking forward to listening to that one. Is there any few words that you want to leave us with? Any words of encouragement?
Yeah, to everybody who's watching and might go through some difficulties, like situations that I also had, that where it was not easy to be a musician, and well, I found quite some obstacles in front of me, to not listen to what people tell you, and just keep going to do, whatever you want to do. And
the show must go on.
Yeah, and love will come back, especially if you spread love, it will come back to you.
Not all the time, though. But
you
sing them a song first. Like, you don't like this person, so you're going to sing one of your songs to them so that they will start to smile and they feel happy outside and feel happy inside, and then they embrace you.
I hope that they feel happy when they listen to it. Well, I mean, everybody can take whatever they feel from the songs.
Well, this is great. I really appreciate the interview. I really appreciate coming onto the podcast and sharing your story with everyone, and that people will just start to be encouraged by your music. And then we'll put more links down below of all your songs from YouTube. I hope people are encouraged just by watching that video I played in the beginning to see a little montage, especially that Jadoon one from Cirque du Soleil. that was a good one. I like how you get this little kind of like a beat to it. That was good. I like that.
Thank you. I really love that song. Actually, I really love also like that show in particular. It's like my favorite show, GOOSE,
Yeah, it was
where
good.
it's taken from.
I can't wait to see more music on YouTube at one. So everyone, just make sure that you subscribe to this channel for more content. We have an exceptional lineup of artists coming in the next couple of months. So busy now. This podcast just started rising just as much as, just early last year. Now I'm so busy. So everyone, I'm going to start taking on a co-host. But I'm
But
happy. I'm happy that you actually showed up, and really excellent that you were able to share with us your life story, who you are, and what you do. And I'm thinking that everyone will love enjoying watching this over and over again, getting a hold of who you are, and looking forward to interviewing you again in a few months. But you'll be in Mexico at that time.
yeah, that's gonna be nice. And also then I can finally share the music of my EP with you. So that's gonna be awesome.
That'll
So
be
I
awesome.
really, really thank you for inviting me. I'm
You're
really
welcome.
happy that I'm here talking to you. It was a great, fun talk with you.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just hope to see you again soon so I can show you the music of my EP
Yeah.
to you
You have
and
my
to all
email.
the viewers.
Yep. You have my email. We
Yeah.
can talk. But I'm going to end the stream. And let's
Yes.
wait, everyone. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you.
You're welcome. Uh-oh, it's having a hard time. And okay, I'm going to end this